As always, for our opening ceremonies this evening, we ask that each and every one of you please rise up from your seats, and gentlemen, remove your caps. If you are moving around the Speedway grounds, we ask that you pause with us momentarily for tonight's invocation to be delivered by Mr. Ray Kaiser of the New Stanton United Methodist Church and the singing of our national anthem by Melissa Grimm. Mr. Kaiser.
Thank you, Mike. Prior to the invocation, I'd like to observe a moment of silence for two losses that have hurt us here at the track. First is for Jim Reininger, the father of our scorer, Mike Reininger. And second is Bob Garchak Sr. He's the father of a Charger driver, Bob Jr. Let's observe a moment of silence in honor of those two men. Dear Lord God, we come to you with thankful and joyful hearts, Lord, but with a little bit of sorrow too. Father, we thank you for your many blessings. We thank you, Lord, for this beautiful evening. We thank you, Lord, for watching over us and providing for us, Lord. We lift up the loved ones of those two men that have passed, Lord God, and pray that you would be with them and comfort them in their time of need and time of loss. Father God, I pray for each and everybody here, the drivers, and all of our guests, Lord. We pray, Lord, that you would watch over us and protect us this evening. Help us, Lord, to have a good time and to just be joyful in your presence. We give you thanks in Jesus' name. Amen.
Please remain standing for the playing of our national anthem by Melissa Grimm.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Green flag is out. Side by side, just like a parade lap. It's Kostelnik to the inside, Gabala to the outside. Then Colarusso and Blank. On the front straight, we had a clear and distinct leader. That was Kostelnik. In turns 1 and 2, Gabala closed the gap, but now Kostelnik all by himself out front. The car that is leading this race with Andrew Kostelnik at the controls is the car that was driven to all those victories last season by Dink Colarusso. Colarusso now in his own Pontiac number 0, riding fourth and challenging Dustin Blank in the 94. Dink Colarusso had a roller coaster of an opening night last week. He was involved in a couple of incidents, but battled back to a top 5 finish in the feature. 2 laps to go, crossed flags, the signal. crossed flags from Chief Starter Denny Carson indicate halfway home, 4 laps down, 4 laps to go. Andrew Kostelnik leading Teddy Gabala. Pittsburgh Penguins just scored on the power play, 2-1. Single file racing action with Kostelnik leading Gabala, then Blank, Colarusso, and rookie Schwartz turning her first laps in a street stock last week in car 03. Andrew Kostelnik, the younger brother of a former division champion, Adam Kostelnik. Andrew himself, many times a winner at Jennerstown Speedway and right here at Motordrome. The AK chassis 57, leading Teddy Gabala, Dustin Blankendink, Colarusso. The driver who got an early season feature win in 2009 gets a heat race win tonight. Andrew Kostelnik takes the checkered flag over Teddy Gabala, Dustin Blank, and Dink Colarusso. 23 is Tom Durdovich, the rookie. 8 more laps out of turn 4, green flag waves. Jason Holder in car 74 led the early laps of last week's feature event. Behind him in this heat race, Aaron Minjock on the outside, and last week's winner, Scott Aiello in the 00. Aiello gets crossed up coming out of turn 4 in that door-to-door fight with Minjock. Aaron Minjock of the Minjock Racing Team based in Mars, Pennsylvania. He's a resident of Greenock. And the 34 car goes door-to-door with the 00 of last week's winner, Aiello, allowing Jason Holder to open up a big lead. Now it's Tom Knight Sr. using the lowest groove on the speedway to challenge the 34 of Minjock. 2 of 8 laps completed. Of 8 laps completed, single file, Holder in the 74 car. Last week, problems while leading this feature of a loose handling race car. Holder loves to get that car sideways coming out of turn 4 almost each and every lap. At the midpoint of this event, the Howie Bayless Motorsports entry of Scott Aiello appears to be closing in just a little bit on the leader. Last week when that car pulled into victory lane, it was orange and yellow. And now with brand new Monte Carlo skin adorning the 00 machine, he closes in just a little bit on Holder, who has held the lead from starting on the pole. 3 laps remaining, Minjock in 3rd, Knight in 4th. And Holder's lead has diminished. With now just 2 laps to go, Aiello looks to the inside. 4-time street stock starter Scott Aiello took a feature victory last week after a heat race win. And now in his 5th career start, looking to make it a perfect sweep of the heat races in 2010. If he can pass 1 more car, white flag is waving for veteran Jason Holder of Stoystown in car 74. Final lap for Aiello, who has a tight handling race car, exactly the opposite of Holder, and loses several car lengths that time through turns 1 and 2. Coming out of turn 4, another serious problem as Aiello drifts up the banking with something broken in the suspension. Checkered flag will wave for Jason Holder. Aaron Minjock comes into the 2nd position, and nearly a dead heat for 3rd as a flat right front tire for Aiello, as the 76 of Knight steals the 3rd spot away, and rookie Tom Durdovich completes the top 5. Driver Pat Hanley on board. 93 is Mike Lemley. 18 is the flying fireman Bill Rebar. And no start that time. No start. We're going to wave it off and try one more time. The Racing Ship Brothers in 04. Pat Hanley in 60. Mike Lemley 93. Bill Rebar 18. Now we're green and racing for the Wyotech Modifieds. 8-lap heat race number 1 is underway. All 3 of the top drivers in this heat race, first, second, and third, visited victory lane in 2009, including Brian Shipp in the 40, who got his career first win last season. Now he muscles his way to the inside of Adam Kostelnik to maintain the lead here on lap 1. Kostelnik to the outside in his new ride, the 00. Kostelnik not only in a brand new chassis and a brand new team this year, also using the crate engine for the first time in his career in a modified. 6-time champion is second in front of his arch rival from last year, Bobby Shipp from Elizabeth, Pennsylvania in car 04. Pat Hanley into the 4th spot. Hanley, the dirt track street stock ace, who ran his first pavement race last week for the Viglione racing team. He's into 4th. Billy Rebar, the flying fireman, is 5th. And Mike Lemley, the former Charger champion in car 93, completing the field. With 5 laps remaining, Brian Shipp opens up a big lead over Kostelnik. Then it's Bobby Shipp in 3rd. Kostelnik, the meat of a Shipp brothers sandwich right now, and Kostelnik's former ride in 4th with Pat Hanley as the crossed flags signal halfway. Has settled down just a bit as Brian Shipp opens up a huge lead over this field now. Mike Lemley pulls the 93 machine in. This is his first start of the young season. And Bobby Shipp gains in a big way in turn 3 on Adam Kostelnik. Has to get up to the high side to avoid contact. That dive bombing move by the 04 of Bobby Shipp gained him a lot of ground in turn 3, then lost him a lot of ground in turn 4. Kostelnik, the runner-up, and race-long leader Brian Shipp from Jefferson Hills in car 40 will see the white flag. Pat Hanley gets a little crossed up there in turn 4 in the 60 car. On the final circuit, Kostelnik gains a few car lengths in turns 1 and 2, but will not appear to have enough to challenge. The Shipp brothers surrounding the 6-time champion headed to the line. Checkered flag is out. Brian Shipp, the heat race winner over Adam Kostelnik, Bobby Shipp, Pat Hanley, and Billy Rebar. Tech modified action. Green and racing side by side for the lead. Gary Scott and George Nicola, 2 of the most veteran drivers in this field. Both have won many, many times in this division, and both were winless in 2009. Chris Brink, who got his first career wins in 2009, car number 3, the Glenn Campbell Gambler, working his trademark high side. Around the 16 of Gary Scott into 2nd position behind Nicola. Nicola was not with us for opening night last Friday and was shockingly winless a year ago for the first time in his modified career. Now Lonnie Hoffman in the 96 moves to the outside of Scott. As Brink moves to the outside of Nicola, the challenge for the lead down the back straight goes side by side. Nicola on the inside, the former street stock champion, and Brink, the former limited late model racer, on the outside. In 5th, J.P. Weiser, driving the Peanuts Eustace 17 car. They are still wheel to wheel all the way around this half mile for the lead. Brink on the outside, Nicola on the inside. And at the midpoint of the event with 4 of 8 laps completed, the new leader is the Glenn Campbell Gambler, Chris Brink. Now Lonnie Hoffman moves to Brink's outside lane and challenges Nicola. Nicola, who missed last week's opportunity to tune up the 97 car, falls back to 3rd now. Gary Scott in 4th. And young J.P. Weiser has more experience at Lake Erie Speedway than he does here at Motordrome. In the top 5 right now, ahead of Todd Knight and Rich Nicola. Now it's Lonnie Hoffman challenging for the lead. Nicola has faded from the top positions after leading for the first 3 laps of this event. Now Brink feels the pressure of Hoffman on the inside as the white flag is waving. They're wheel to wheel on the front straight. Lonnie Hoffman, last week's winner in car 96, made a pass for second on the outside, makes a pass for the lead on the inside. The Scrinny's automotive machine can handle anywhere on this half mile tonight, and last week's feature winner. The hometown hero takes a heat race checkered flag. Lonnie Hoffman gets the win over Chris Brink, George Nicola, Gary Scott, and J.P. Weiser. In 83, rookie Matt Gardner in 7. And the 28 of Dave Wiltsey as the green flag waves. 10 laps for the NASCAR Subway Super Late Models in heat race number 1. Early race leader is Chris Bailey Jr. The 17 car, one of the youngest competitors in this field, the former Lake Erie Rookie of the Year, holding off last week's winner of feature number 1, Neil Brown in 98. Brown takes the lead on the back straight. Chris Bailey surrounded by some serious Motordrome talent as Neil Brown leads him and Mark Catone challenges him. The defending track champion dips beneath Bailey. And the 31 car will glide into second position on the back straight. Side by side for the 4th position, it's Tommy Beck in 60. He was not in competition with us last week. And Rick Miller in his new ride, the 18. Miller, who started on the front row, now back to 5th here on lap 3 of 10. It's Tommy Beck in the 60, the Bob Bentz Motorsports entry. 17 of Bailey in 3rd. Defending champ Mark Catone in 2nd. Neil Brown up front. Single file action now. Neil Brown, Mark Catone. Both of those drivers victorious in 2009. On the front straight, at the midpoint of this event, Matt Gardner, the Duke of Roughdale in car number 7, spins from the battle with Joe Moose. And the defending Charger Division champion will bring out the caution flag for the first time this evening. This season, Neil Brown continues to lead with 5 laps remaining over Mark Catone, Chris Bailey Jr., and Tommy Beck. Green flag is out. Now Catone is glued right to the rear bumper of the leader. Meanwhile, 3rd place battle heats up as Tommy Beck looks to the inside of Chris Bailey Jr. Very close racing in turn 3. Side by side, just in front of Rick Miller. Could be a position change here on lap 6. As the stands transmissions number 60 of Tommy Beck dives to the inside and takes a position away from Chris Bailey Jr. Beck, who's been in victory lane for 100 lap crown jewel events here, returns to the seat of the number 60 machine. He will also be competing on dirt tracks every Saturday night this season as he did last year. Up front, still a close battle for this heat race win. Neil Brown feeling the pressure of Mark Catone now. Catone, who finished 2nd in the second 25-lapper to kick off 2009 last Friday. Just about a car length and a half off the rear bumper of Brown. White flag, last time around. Neil Brown, who enters tonight as the points leader after his heat and 2 features last week. Brown will not be racing for the championship, but he got a win last week, and coming out of turn number 4 will get a heat race victory again. Neil Brown in car 98 takes the checkered flag over Mark Catone, Tommy Beck, Chris Bailey Jr., and Rick Miller. 10 laps for the NASCAR Subway Super Late Models. Gary Wiltrout 95 and Todd Price in 51 lead him to the green. Oh, Wiltrout still maybe having mechanical problems as that car barely completed a lap last week in heat and double features. Wiltrout had rear end problems all night long and didn't finish an event last Friday. Looks like he may still have some issues with the 95 car. And and the former Motordrome champion falls back in the field, surrendering the lead to Todd Price. Feature winner for the first time in his career last week. He was a winner in the trucks and super late models and limited late models. Finally found his way to victory lane in the NASCAR Subway super late models last week for the Dave Manns family-owned 51 Motorsports team. In second, Steve Black, who had a career-best second-place finish last week in feature event number 1. Then Mark Poole in third, ahead of the Paul Agrudo teammates, Will Trout and Henry. Every car on the racetrack, except for young Cody Quarrick in the 6 machine, have all been to victory lane at some point in their careers at Motordrome Speedway. Steve Black has been in victory lane in the trucks. The rest of this field, all winners in the NASCAR Subway super late models, including for the first time last week, Todd Price. Crossed flag signal halfway, 5 down and 5 to go. Now Bobby Henry in the 11 car looks to challenge his teammate Gary Wiltrout. Henry was bad fast last week. Did not find victory lane in either of the feature events, however. Now the teammates go side by side in turn 3. Looks like Wiltrout's car may be up to speed now after that glitch on the start, but Henry will take position away. Working lap 7 of 10, Todd Price, the race leader. Many-time winner in truck racing and limited late model racing. As of last Friday, a winner in the top division of the NASCAR Whelen All-American Series. Just 2 laps to go for his Stoystown Auto Wrecking, Frankie Day Oldies Show, D&D Office Plus, Man's Home Medical 51 machine. Steve Black in the number 1 Toyota, haunting his back bumper, as Black is also coming off a career best performance last Friday. While they slug it out for the lead, Mark Poole, the Howard Concrete Pumping, Donaldson Supply 96 machine, has closed in on that lead battle, but we are on the final lap and there's contact. Black gets into the rear of last week's feature winner. Caution flag on the final lap. And we're gonna have to try one more time as Todd Price gets punted out of the lead on the final lap of this heat race. 11-lap heat. Mark Poole, Bobby Henry, Gary Wiltrout, Barry Audi, now the top 4, all victorious in 2009. And now the teammates 2nd and 3rd, driving the Stone & Company. Megan Ford, Scott Wood Lumber. Ford Fusions for Paul Agrudo Motorsports, tucked in behind Mark Poole's Chevrolet. White flag is waving. And a very interesting heat race will now come to a close. We'll see if there are any ramifications in the feature event after that contact. Coming out of turn 4 for the 2nd week in a row, winning his heat race, Mark Poole from 84 Pennsylvania takes the checkered flag over Bobby Henry, Gary Wiltrout, Barry Audi, and Todd Price. This week's winner, 71 John Scott and 51 Mary Catherine Shimko, the division rookie, as the green flag waves. 6 laps the distance for the Pro Auto Supply Service Chargers. Side by side for the lead, Ed McConnell, the veteran, pulls out to about a car length advantage over young Ron Eiford III. Eiford was a feature winner last season. McConnell looks for his career first as Kristen Ettling challenges for 2nd. Ed McConnell in the 48, not only looking for a career first feature win, but I believe a career first heat win as well. And he is out in front of Kristen Ettling, who got a victory last week for her first career event on opening night. Certainly couldn't call it an upset, as she had been so close to a victory so many times in 2009. Ron Eiford in car 61, another graduate of the Coca-Cola Super Compact Division, rides in 3rd. Halfway through this event, 3 laps down and 3 to go for the Pro Auto Supply Service Chargers. Ettling using the outside lane to pull almost even with McConnell here on the back straight. Challenge for the lead. Side by side Monte Carlos, McConnell on the inside. He's from Evans City, Pennsylvania. Ettling, the young lady on the outside in the former Jimmy Stokes ride. Officially by just a hair at the scoring line on lap 4, Kristen Ettling was the leader, but McConnell's going to have something to say about that before they come back to the start-finish line. White flag waving, still anybody's race up front. McConnell and Ettling have a half mile to settle it. They will be approaching the 51 of Mary Catherine Shimko, the division rookie, who got her first heat race win last week in the Super Compact division doing double duty. And backing up the feature win with a heat race win, Kristen Ettling takes the checkered flag over Ed McConnell, Ron Eifert, and John Scott. Top 3 starters in this one have all been to victory lane. Green flag is out. 6 more laps for the Pro Auto Supply Service Chargers. And joining the field just a tick late, the 02 car, first-time starter in this division, Mike Musiak. Former modified racer now in the Charger division. Side by side for the lead, Tracy Keller and Jimmy Christoffel. Will it be 3 wide? Look at Denny Keller trying to become a part of this battle. Penguins up 3-1. Still side by side with Keller, Christoffel, and Keller. The Keller cousins in cars 1 and 13, and Jimmy Christoffel in the 04. Oh, we are going to go 3 wide. Oh, nearly going 3 wide. That would have been a bad idea, and everybody knows it. So Christoffel in the 04 left to battle with Denny Keller as Tracy Keller has his biggest lead of this race. That's about 1.5 feet. Tracy Keller continues to lead. It might be Denny Keller now officially in the 2nd spot for the 2nd lap in a row, and it is by inches, as Denny Keller and Jimmy Christoffel are nearly door to door every lap at the scoring line. Ed Shelton is in 4th. Mike Musiak pulled out of this event. The former champion Keller now finds his cousin all by himself in 2nd and closing in on him. White flag waves. Look at this. Denny Keller quickly shot away from the 04 of Christoffel and begins to challenge his cousin for the lead on the final lap of the Pro Auto Supply Service Chargers heat race number 2. It's Keller, Christoffel. It's not a law firm, it's 3 cars in the Charger division headed for the checkered flag. Tracy Keller will win it over Denny Keller, Jimmy Christoffel, and Ed Sheltman. Six laps the distance for the Coca-Cola Super Compacts. Green flag is out. Eddie Livingston in car 96, the Mark Seiler-owned race car. And how about this? Father and son battling for 2nd. The 48 is Koffler the 3rd, who takes the position away from his multi-feature winning father, Paul Koffler Jr. It's Livingston over Koffler, and Zerfoss. You're looking at a really fast heat race field for the Super Compacts here. Back in 4th spot is Zerfoss, who routinely finishes in the top 3 in features. He's holding off last week's winner Schwartz, and they're not really able to pass cars because Koffler in the 05, a multi-feature winner last year, a very strong heat race as we're halfway through this one, 3 down and 3 to go. The 96 car was driven last season in enduro competition, mostly by Mark Seiler, only occasional starts in our weekly super compact field. Now the 05 of Koffler Jr. slows dramatically. He may be headed to the pits. Meanwhile, his son rides in second position. The Koffler gang out of the West Leisenring, Pennsylvania area. They were competitors at the Farmington Speedway on dirt in 4-cylinder action for many seasons. In fact, Koffler, who just pulled into the pit area, many-time champion of the dirt track at Farmington. Look at this, we've got a lead battle now. The 96 seemed like a dominant race car last week, and Koffler, the third, is reeling him in on the final lap. Now Schwartz in the 31 has climbed up to third around Zerfoss. And on the final lap, can Livingston hold off the 48 of Koffler the third through turns 3 and 4 the last time? Koffler gaining. It will not be enough. Checkered flag waves for Eddie Livingston, who gets the win over Paul Koffler III, Bill Schwartz, Eugene Zerfoss, and Andrew Dukavich in car 04. Heat machine is Andy Zatola, and the 76 is Jessica Knight. 2 young ladies in this heat race as the green flag waves. 6 more laps the distance for the Super Compacts. Steve Settle in car number 3, the veteran driver who won a Charger feature last year, breaks out this new-looking neon for Coca-Cola Super Compact action and storms away in the lead from another veteran, Kevin Keffer in 14. Then the Young Lions battling for third, Jessica Knight in 76, takes that spot away from the rookie Brian Knoll. Knoll driving a 4-door Cavalier. 44 of Shimko racing side by side with the 8 of Zatola. Again, 3 heats tonight for the Super Compacts, just as last Friday with Steve Settle, the early race leader. Two of 6 laps completed. Top 3 drivers spread out around the speedway. Steve Settle and Kevin Keffer, longtime veteran racers. They've competed at Farmington as well as here at Motordrome. 76 of Jessica Knight. On any given Friday here at Motordrome, you can see up to 3 or 4 members of the Knight family in competition, which include Tom Sr. in the street stocks, Todd in the modifieds, and Jessica or Chris in the Coca-Cola Super Compacts. As there are 2 laps to go for Steve Settle. Settle, whose Charger car is an all-red number 3. Final lap around, Steve Settle with a big lead since the drop of the green flag. In what is normally a highly competitive division, he just put a hurting on this field all 6 laps. He steps back from the Charger division for 1 week, and out of turn number 4 will walk away with a heat race victory in car number 3. Steve Settle will win it over Kevin Keffer. In third spot, Jessica Knight making her first start of the season. The battle for 4th at the line, it's going to be Andy Zatola inching out Mary Catherine Shimko on the final lap. The 11 is Steven Sheltman, and the 19 car making a first start is Crystal Aller. Green flag is out, and we've got a couple of first-time starters. We're going to hang back from the rest of the field, including the 19 of Crystal Aller. That's the 33, making a first-ever start, Kyle Komarinsky. I'm not sure the driver's name in the Quarik-owned number 9 Dodge. But meanwhile, up front, we got 2 rookies, and it looks like a first ever lap led for June Mihalik in her second start in the DeWitt Enterprises 38 machine. Now coming into lap traffic very quickly, Mihalik to the inside, as is Sean Rich. Meanwhile, the 62 of Grubbs and the 11 of Shelton go to the outside of the slower machine. Going to be 3 wide for the lead momentarily. Sean Rich and Stephen Shelton in the 11. Very young drivers, but have a full season and a half more experience than does the early race leader June Mihalik or Dale Grubbs Jr. in 62. Now Grubbs takes the lead on lap 2 of 6. Lead pack now approaching the 33 of Kyle Komarinsky. Some drivers taking their first ever laps here, teenagers in most cases. Crossed flag signal halfway for Dale Grubbs Jr. in 62. It's now the 11 of Stephen Shelton, who got his driver's license for the highway just about a week ago. He makes a pass for the lead, and Shelton goes around Grubbs. Hard to believe you could call Shelton now a 16-year-old driver, a veteran among this field of starters, but he's out in front. Then it's Grubbs, Mihalik, and Sean Rich in 46. 25 cars, another rookie, that's Mike George. We see Kyle Komarinsky in 33, maybe headed to the pits, as well as first-time starter in the 19 car, Crystal Aller. Aller stays out, Komarinsky pulls in. White flag is waving for Stephen Shelton. This may be a first career heat race win. Want to invite you fans to visit our website. You can download a set of rules on how to build your very own super compact race car and move from the grandstands to the speedway at an affordable cost. Get the racing hobby flowing through your veins and come out here and test the NASCAR half mile, the Motordrome Speedway each Friday. And taking the checkered flag from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania for the first time, Stephen Shelton gets the win over Dale Grubbs Jr., June Mihalik, Sean Rich, and Mike George. Racing for the Napa Street Stocks, Dustin Blank and Tom Knight Sr. lead him to the green. Blank and Knight, both veteran competitors. Both have experience in several divisions, and both have found a home here in the Napa Street Stocks in recent seasons. It's the 76 of Knight, just inches out in front of Blank at the scoring line. He will lead lap 1. Aaron Minjock is third, looking for that first win in this division. Then Gabala and Holder side by side. Look at this close racing action as Blank takes the lead. We got a spin on the back straight. Terry Schwartz goes around in the 03 car. Just as a lead change happened, exiting turn 4. We get the caution flag waving for the rookie Terry Schwartz. Jock third, Jason Holder fourth, Teddy Gabala fifth. Green flag is back out. Challenge for second. Aaron Minjock looking to the inside of Tom Knight Sr. Oh, look at Minjock drifting up and pinching Knight to the outside wall. He makes contact. Tom Knight Sr. pancaked the wheels to the outside retaining wall, trying to avoid the 34 of Minjock, who was drifting high out of turn 4. Disaster was averted by two veterans making veteran moves there. Minjock into second spot. Holder is third. Race leader continues to be Dustin Blank. Blank in car 94 recently had a 2 or 3 car length lead, but Aaron Minjock seems to be slicing that down. Although now he has to worry about the 74 of Holder trying to take second away. 5 laps down, 20 to go. Dustin Blank, who has experience in virtually every division of asphalt stock car racing, including Touring Series experience, trying to hold off the 34 of Minjock. Blank with a feature win late in 2009. Holder in 74 was shockingly winless in 2009. And Minjock, again has a handling issue, drifts up a lane and a half on the speedway and manages to do so in the space between the first and third place cars. Look at this battle as they approach the Terry Schwartz lap car. Minjock is pinned on the bottom. Blank needs the high lane. Will we be 3 wide on the front straight? We are, and the new race leader officially by inches is Aaron Minjock on lap 7. But look at Dustin Blank battling back to the high side. Door to door they go. Minjock, the former Charger dominator. Now a couple of years into his Napa street stock career, looking for that first win. He's now got the lead by a full car length. Blank still sits in second. Then it's Jason Holder, and after starting deep in this field, the 57 of Andrew Kostelnik is the man on the move. Look at that 57 car. The number might be made of duct tape, but that car is well constructed and handling like a dream tonight. He is in 4th position and looking for a way to move up. Will we be 3 wide again? No. Holder stays on the bottom. Now Dustin Blank is forced to the outside. Holder and Kostelnik both steamroll past the early race leader on the back straight. Blank is back to 4th position as race leader Aaron Minjock has an interval of about 3 or 4 car lengths between himself and Jason Holder. Blank now in the 94 car with an extremely loose handling condition. He loses several car lengths, falling back from the rear bumper of Kostelnik, and now Scott Aiello in the 00 car. Moving up very close. Dustin Blank is barely able to hang on to that race car coming out of the corners. The DeWitt Enterprises 94 is suddenly trying to get away from him, and that car is dirt tracked sideways every corner as Scott Aiello will take away the 4th position as last week's winner. Aaron Minjock, the race leader. Minjock Racing of Mars, Pennsylvania, fielding Charger and street stock cars. Later this season, a super compact as well out of that racing stable. Aaron unloaded his Charger just once and picked up the biggest win of the season when he last ran in that division. And now as a Napa street stock competitor, opens up his lead over Jason Holder. Andrew Kostelnik in 57 on lap 13, who was moving up like lightning, is now about to lose the 3rd spot. Scott Aiello is the man on the move now. Aiello at the midpoint of this event, showing the strength that took him to victory lane last week, is still in his 5th career start in this division. The Howie Bayless Motorsports 00 car with a brand new body passes Kostelnik and is closing in on Holder. An incredible season with a heat race win and a feature win on opening night in his 4th ever race in the street stock division. White Oak, Pennsylvania's Scott Aiello looking for 2nd spot now. Moving to the inside of Holder on lap 15. There are 10 laps to go with Aaron Minjock, the race leader. Coming out of turn 4, the 2nd position has been secured by a couple of car lengths now as Scott Aiello in another AK chassis entry has stormed up from deep in this field. Andrew Kostelnik has slowed after his progress early on was so astonishing. And look at Aiello chopping away car lengths of the Minjock lead. The Minjock painting, Hermione Auto Parts 34 of Aaron Minjock, about to feel the pressure of Scott Aiello. And Dustin Blank has a serious malfunction on the back straight. The early race leader should be headed to the pits as he has slowed dramatically once again. Working lap number 18, a pair of black Chevy Monte Carlos pacing this field. Headed into turn 3, can Aiello secure the inside lane? Minjock seems happy to ride right in the middle of the speedway. It's not quite the high lane, not quite the low lane. And his lead is down to just a fender as they reach the scoring line, and Aiello, the 5th start of his career, results in a spin. Last week's winner will bring out the caution with 6 laps to go. For a season for Jason Holder. Green flag is back out. Andrew Kostelnik is 3rd. Teddy Gabala 4th. Oh, the double foul restarts and the excitement they bring to the finish of a feature event at Motordrome Speedway. Now Andrew Kostelnik finds new life. He was not able to close in on Holder under green, but the restart looks to be just what he needed. Minjock opens up a 3 or 4 car length advantage. Kostelnik, by just under a car length on lap 20, is officially in 2nd spot over Holder. Dink Colarusso has the inside preferred lane on Teddy Gibala, but the youngster battles back on the outside. Gibala not surrendering fourth to the defending champion just yet. Kostelnik crosses lanes and maintains the second position over Holder, and all of that excitement is exactly what Aaron Minjock needed. Minjock now 5-6 car lengths ahead of Andrew Kostelnik. Laps to go. Aaron Minjock the leader, and he is now opening up his advantage over Kostelnik. Andrew Kostelnik, a winner last season. Holder back in third and several car lengths back from Kostelnik. Side by side, it's Colarusso and the three of Gibala. Dink Colarusso drifts up the racetrack. He slides into the three of Gibala, and an amazing save made by both, but we got a caution flag on the front straight. The rookie in car number 23, making only his second start, Tom Durdovich. Didn't see the incident happen, but he has locked that car up along the inside front retaining wall. With only 2 laps to go, the green flag waves. Minjock on the inside, Kostelnik on the outside. Then it's Jason Holder, Teddy Gibala, and Dink Colarusso. Kostelnik, his progress was halted in the later stages of this event, but now he hangs tough to the outside of Minjock, door to door, as they come to the white flag. Now Minjock with a car length advantage. Gibala moves around Holder, who's sliding out of turn 2. Minjock's lead on the final lap, about a car length over the 57 of Kostelnik. And from Greenock, Pennsylvania, the Minjock Racing Team and driver Aaron Minjock win for the first time in the Napa Street Stocks over Andrew Kostelnik, Teddy Gibala, Dink Colarusso, and Jason Holder. Well, Aaron Minjock, you, sir, have been to victory lane before with the Minjock Racing Team, but never in this division. First, I want you to tell me, did you think it would take this long, or did you think you'd be parked here a little bit sooner, making that jump from Chargers to street stocks?
Yeah, I thought it might have been a little easier, but it didn't work out that way. 3 long years we've been at this. Thank God we made it.
You're sweaty. It's a hot night tonight, and I'd like to talk about the weather this time of the year. How does your car handle on hot nights versus cold nights? Is there a difference you can feel in the cockpit as opposed to last week when the temperatures were so low?
Car drove a lot better last week. And yeah, we had some different stuff for competition, but it was a little slick tonight.
Now let's talk about this race car, because I know your family fields a lot of them. Let's tell the fans about all the race teams that Minjock Racing is involved with here at Motordrome, and thank the sponsors for this winning ride.
We want to thank Minjock Painting, my mom, my dad, for putting up with all this and helping us out. The Kostelnik brothers, Andrew, Mega, we owe you a bunch. And Andy and oh heck, we got a lot of cars out here. We try to keep the fuel going, and we're just happy to be back in the front. Didn't think it'd take this long, but we're happy now.
There he is, a happy winner for the first time in the Napa Street Stocks. Ladies and gentlemen, Aaron Minjock. 5 laps for the Wyotech Modifieds. Green flag is out. Top 3 drivers on the Speedway. Winless in 09, and Pat Hanley in the 60, making only his second start in Modifieds on pavement. Gary Scott, the early race leader. One of the winningest drivers in the history of this division is Scott, although he did not see a checkered flag in 09. Same with Nicola in the 97, a perennial multi-feature winner who did not collect a victory in 09. Now inside the top 3, the 0-4 of Bobby Shipp. And up to 4th around Nicola, the 00 of Kostelnik in his new HB Motorsports entry. Contact made in the battle for 3rd, an excellent save by Shipp. Now Now it's Chris Brink in the 3, taking what else but the outside lane around the 00 of Kostelnik. He was a multiple feature winner last season as well. The Glenn Campbell Gambler is on the move. 4 laps completed. Gary Scott, the early race leader, a dirt track modified ace and go-kart champion who switched to the pavement world back in the 90s. A staple of this division for a long time in the Swissvale Music entry. Pat Hanley in second in car 60. The Luzader Lumber Viglione Racing number 60 car. Sponsored this year by the 380 auction. And Hanley all by himself in second right now as Brink completes the pass of Kostelnik and looks to move around the 04 of Bobby Shipp. 6 laps are completed, and Chris Brink making the outside line work to perfection tonight as he is just about cleared the 04 of Bobby Shipp. Now Shipp battles back on the inside, and Kostelnik switches to the high lane. If you're Adam Kostelnik in the 00 car, who do you follow? Both of the guys side by side in front of him won several feature events last season. Kostelnik has no idea who's going to win this battle, and he has to sit and watch as Gary Scott in the 16 car loses a couple of car lengths to the 60 of Pat Hanley here on lap 8. Still a 3-car fight for third position. Brink on the outside in the 3, Bobby Shipp of Elizabeth, PA in 04, and Kostelnik in 00. 9 laps completed, Gary Scott again builds up a few car length advantage over Pat Hanley. And Brink nearly completed that pass for third on the back straight, but Shipp battles right back. Now Kostelnik nearly loses the handle and falls back 6-7 car lengths. It's now a 3-car battle, but it is now for second as Kostelnik has faded from the front 4, and Brink and Shipp have closed in on the 60 of Pat Hanley. Got a spin in turn 4. Rich Nicola goes around in car 34, bringing out the caution flag. For his first win since 2008, brings us back up to full speed in the Wyotech Modifieds. After Chris Brink powered around the outside of Bobby Shipp for third, Shipp immediately looks to the inside to claim that position back once again. Kostelnik joins that fight, and just like before, we got a 3-car battle for third, but we got a challenge for the lead. The rookie, Pat Hanley, in car 60 with more pressure on him than any other rookie perhaps in the history of Motordrome racing, with the Viglione Racing number 60, looked on the front straight to try and grab the inside lane to make a pass for the lead. He settles back into second as Brink and Shipp are still side by side. Kostelnik with another issue there in turns 1 and 2, and now Lonnie Hoffman in the 96, last week's winner, climbs inside of the top 5 with an inside pass of Kostelnik. Here comes Brian Shipp, looking to make the same move as Kostelnik drops back. Adam Kostelnik trying to figure out a new chassis, a new race car, and a new team. Meanwhile, Chris Brink has again secured the third position all by himself and looks to make a move around the outside of Hanley. Brink, it looked like, was going to threaten for the inside lane, something that he seldom does. With 10 laps to go, he resumes his chase in the outside lane. Pat Hanley has closed up to within a car length and a half, let's say, of the 16 of Scott. Action happening all over the speedway. Lonnie Hoffman has joined this battle after starting deep in the field. And now Brink goes way up high in turn 1. Perhaps too high, gets into the marbles, nearly loses the car. Makes a great save, but loses 3 car lengths to Hanley. Hanley now all by himself in second, and that miscue in turn 1 costs Brink dearly as Bobby Shipp is about to return to the third position. They are wheel to wheel at the scoring line on lap 17. Shipp on the inside. inside, Brink on the outside. This time it's Lonnie Hoffman watching them battle. And indeed, Ship does reclaim the third position in turn 4, trying to bring Hoffman along with him. And Brink in jeopardy of losing 2 spots in 1 lap. Now Ship has a little bit of an issue in turns 1 and 2, and we got a spin in turn 2. The 93 of Mike Lemley goes around. The former Charger Division champion spins, bring out the caution on lap 18. 7th starting Lonnie Hoffman will go from 4th on the restart with Bobby Ship to his inside. Green flag is out, and Gary Scott in 16 and Pat Hanley in 60 lead him back into turns 1 and 2. Hanley nearly has a miscue, gathers the car back up and is still almost wheel to wheel with Scott. Headed into turn 3, Scott now breaks free, and Bobby Ship reaches the 2nd position for the first time in this event. It's Hanley back to 3rd and 7th starting Hoffman in 4th, then Chris Brink, Brian Ship, and Adam Kostelnik. This has been marvelously exciting, even though the score sheets will show you Gary Scott has led the entire distance. Bobby Ship in 2nd, gets the car a little crossed up, as does Hanley. Now Chris Brink changes to the low side of the Motordrome Speedway with 5 laps to go. This is the first time the action has settled down to single file throughout this entire event. We're going to be 3 wide coming out of turn 2. Never a good scenario in the open wheel modifieds. Brink on the outside, Hanley in the middle, Hoffman down low. Now Hanley drifts up into the path of Chris Brink. Hoffman can't capitalize as he slides the car through turn 4. And with 3 laps to go, Gary Scott's lead over Bobby Ship is just barely a car length and a half. Bobby Ship in the 04, 2nd in the championship point standings for 2 consecutive years. 2nd leading feature winner for 2 consecutive years. And Scott now opens up a big advantage with 2 to go. The battle is for 3rd. Chris Brink on the outside of Pat Hanley. Lonnie Hoffman right there waiting to strike. They are wheel to wheel for 3rd. White flag for the veteran Gary Scott. Final trip around. And Brink edges into 3rd position around Pat Hanley by inches at the scoring line, working lap 24. Bobby Ship gains about a car length. Doesn't look like he will have enough to challenge. And after the longest drought of his career, Irwin, Pennsylvania's Gary Scott will take another checkered flag over Bobby Ship, Chris Brink, Pat Hanley, and Lonnie Hoffman. Peanuts comes over to congratulate. Well, Gary, I told the fans it's been a while since you've been to Victory Lane here. Is this the longest drought of Gary Scott's career so far?
Yeah, we didn't win a feature last year. The year before we won 1. And, used to be 4 and 5, so that's a drought.
Last year wasn't really all that bad. I remember disastrous seasons with this car on its roof and bouncing off the wall, so it was maybe a little more consistent for you. But did you work on this car over the winter with the goal of coming back to Victory Lane, or did last year's car feel pretty close?
Well, the Peanuts built the chassis. The chassis is great. What we did last 2 years, we ran a crate motor.
We took the crate motor
We
out.
put the old motor back in from 2006, so maybe that helped.
So a switch of the power plant for you. How about a chance to thank all the sponsors, as you had a big cheering section up there as you returned to Victory Lane tonight?
Well, obviously, I'd like to thank Peanuts, and my son, and my brother, wherever he is. That's my pit crew. Obviously, Swiss Fall Music, the Clark's Band, good friends of mine, the JR Chassis, Imperial Heights Garage, and Ed's Auto, and Bush Brothers Tire and Colgan Towing.
And the big important question, because I know your schedule is a little sporadic, are you going to be racing with us each and every week here in 2010?
No, I wish I could. Got to work, I know the first 2 Fridays of June I probably won't be here, so not running for points anymore. I'm 59. I think I'm almost ready to retire,
He's almost ready to retire, he says, but he returns to winning form tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Gary Scott. Subway Super Late Models. Rick Miller, the 18. Chris Bailey Jr. in 17. Green flag is out. Hanley race leader is Chris Bailey Jr. Tommy Beck uses the outside lane to move around Rick Miller. They nearly make contact headed down the front straight. Miller's new ride, the Hemphill Racing 18 car. Falling back down to defending track champion Mark Catone in 31. Then it's Miller side by side with Barry Audi. The two most veteran late model competitors in this field are door to door for fourth, but up front on lap 2, the Bob Benz Motorsports number 60 of Tommy Beck grabs the lead away from young Chris Bailey Jr. Mark Catone in 31 sneaks to the inside of the youngster. Bailey loses 2 positions in 1 lap, and the new race leader is Tommy Beck. Now Barry Audi challenges Bailey for 3rd and will take that position away. Working lap 4, Tommy Beck, the race leader. Beck, who raced very sparingly at Motordrome last season, concentrating on his dirt track career, returns to the seat of the stands transmission 60, and he is now feeling the pressure of Mark Catone. Catone, the Auto Express Transportation Mama Peppino's Pizza 31, a 2-time feature winner last season, and in 3rd with 1 win a year ago. Barry Audi, oh, we got contact, we're 3 wide in turn 4. Bailey on the outside, Poole in the middle, and Bobby Henry on the inside. Disaster was averted here on lap 6, but a thrilling moment there in turn number 4. Here comes a battle for the lead. Mark Catone on the high side of Motordrome Speedway, moving around Beck to challenge out of turn 4 for the lead, and he's got it. Catone, the 2-time winner last season, clocked up his 3rd track championship here in 2009, takes the lead away from former 100-lap crown jewel winner Tommy Beck. Barry Audi is 3rd, and the 3 of them have broken away from the rest of this field, including 4th place Bobby Henry, the Subway Challenge driver of the night, and 5th place Mark Poole here on lap 8. As we mentioned, Poole in the 5th spot. He is being challenged by last week's first-time winner, Todd Price. Price was looking inside of Poole there just 1 lap ago. And those 2 drivers are sandwiched in between the Palagrudo Motorsports teammate with Gary Wiltrout back in the 7th spot, and the leaders going around the slowing Dave Wiltsey machine that heads down pit lane. Scary moment there for Catone. Working lap 10 of 50, Wiltsey retires from competition. Still a 3-car breakaway at the front. Mark Catone of McKeesport, Tommy Beck of Murraysville, and Barry Audi of Jenners. A trio of black Chevrolets at the front of the field. Then Bobby Henry's Ford in 4th and Mark Poole in 5th. Last week's winner of feature number 1, Neil Brown, so far unable to make any moves as he is still behind Wiltrout. Then it's Chris Bailey and Steve Black. Catone, Tommy Beck, Barry Audi. It's no longer a 3-car breakaway as Bobby Henry is gaining ground on the lead trio. Barry Audi may be falling back just a car length or 2 from the rear bumper of Tommy Beck here on lap 14. Catone, the race leader, a graduate of 4-cylinder racing. In the 1980s, he and his brother Mike traveled the United States with the ARCA sanction, racing 4-cylinder cars all over the eastern United States. Then went on to be a late model kingpin, both at Jennerstown and here at Motordrome. Did some traveling with the Iceman Super Late Model Series. And behind him, Tommy Beck, Beck, the former Jennerstown Speedway track champion with his family-owned, under-financed team. He's been to victory lane here at Motordrome with Bentz racing in the number 60 car, picking up a crown jewel 100-lap victory among his wins. He's also the biggest modified winner in the history of Motordrome Speedway when he grabbed a $3,000 top prize as a teenager back in 1996. Riding in third spot, it's Barry Audi. Audi was second in the championship point standings last season. Got that feature win for the first time in about a decade here in 2009. Audi in the Stoystown Auto Wrecking. Wheeler Brothers 75, a former champion of both Jennerstown and Clearfield Speedways. Bobby Henry in the 11, the 2007 Motordrome champion. Well in excess of 110 victories in his career, dating back to the old dirt track days and limited late model racing here at Motordrome. And on lap 20, solidly inside the top 5 in car 96, it's Mark Poole, a graduate of Legacy Car Racing, who was a multi-feature winner in 2008 and 2009 here at Motordrome in the Howard Concrete Pumping Donaldson Chevrolet 96. Then many car lengths back to last week's 2 winners. Winner of the second feature last Friday, Todd Price, in the Dave Manzone 51 Motorsports entry, sponsored by Stoystown Auto Wrecking and the Frankie Day Oldies Show. And then Neil Brown, who was the first winner in the 25-lapper that began the NASCAR Subway Super Late Model season last Friday night. The Acme, Pennsylvania veteran in the Hunter's Peterbilt R&M Trucking Davies 4. Leaders in lap traffic now as rookie Matt Gardner, the defending Charger champ, goes a lap down in car 7, and Cody Quarrick, the Uniontown youngster, goes a lap down to Catone. Lap traffic actually putting more distance between the defending champ and Tommy Beck in second. Next time around, the crossed flags from Chief Starter Denny Carson will indicate halfway through round number 2 of the NASCAR Whelen All-American Series, the third feature event for the NASCAR Subway Super Late Models. It's Catone leading Beck, Audi, Henry, and Poole. Challenge for third position as the 11 of Henry briefly looked inside the 75 of Audi. Audi drifting up a groove high in turn 4, but Henry not able to capitalize. Henry in the Stone and Company Scottdale Lumber Megan Ford number 11 for Palagrudo Motorsports now puts a serious challenge on Audi, but remains in 4th position down the back straight. Audi's car looks like it shouldn't be handling so well in that groove in turn number 4. Nevertheless, he keeps his distance ahead of Henry. It's actually in turn 1 where Henry gets his best gain here on lap 27. They're about to slug it out for third with Mark Poole watching. And now Henry has the line to the inside of turn 3. This is Henry's best effort at stealing third spot. Audi remains in the position by a fender on lap 28. Door to door go the winning veterans, both former track champions during their career. Audi, who was never a champion here, but at multiple speedways in his long career, will be falling back to 4th. No, he will not, by inches at the scoring line. Audi maintains third over Henry, but Mark Poole has joined this battle, and Henry spins out of turn 2 as the Subway Challenge driver in the grass down the back straight. Alongside Tommy Beck, bring the field back up to full speed. Green flag is out. Three wide in the battle for third. Audi, Price, and Poole. And it is Mark Poole who hangs on to third position in the outside lane with a daring pass. And Barry Audi is back to 4th after he defended third so admirably from Bobby Henry. Last week's winners are side by side on the back straight, Price and Brown, but we got a spin in turn 2. Joe Moose in car 83 with a rare spin. Mark Catone and Tommy Beck. Now Mark Poole in third, Barry Audi in 4th. Green is out. Mark Poole had a tremendous restart from the high side last time, moving around Barry Audi. Can he do just as well on this restart from an inside position? It's Catone, Beck, Poole, and look at Todd Price coming to the inside now. Price made a great save there as the car got loose in turn 4. He is looking to challenge Barry Audi for 4th, and he is right there with Neil Brown, 98. They were nearly making contact there out of turn 2. Chris Bailey, the early race leader in car 17, is there with those 2 veterans. Todd Price hanging to the inside of Neil Brown. The only 2 winners of 2010 going door to door. Now Brown secures the spot. The 98 car now on the scoreboard inside the top 5 with Barry Audi 4th, Mark Poole in 3rd, Tommy Beck in 2nd, and Mark Catone leading on lap 33 of 50. Mark Poole in 96 grabbed the 3rd position on a restart. Now with the heat building up in the tires, Audi looks ready to challenge for that position once again. NASCAR Subway Super Late Models, top 6 drivers in the running order right now have wins in their careers at Motordrome Speedway. Mark Catone is opening up his lead just a bit over Tommy Beck. Beck spent most of last season racing dirt cars, as Will Thomas was the driver behind the wheel of the number 60 machine for much of 2009, until Beck rejoined this team, his former ride, right at the end of 2009. Barry Audi is poised to make another run at 3rd position, which he held earlier in this event. 75 of Audi and the 96 of Poole, the best battle on the speedway right now. Neil Brown may be slightly gaining on those 2 drivers as he started deep in the pack. With 9 laps to go, it's all Mark Catone up front, and Tommy Beck in 2nd position. 4 Chevrolets and then the Ford of Neil Brown. Catone added about half a car length to his interval that time down the back straight, launching out of turn number 2. And now Poole makes a big gain. After Audi threatened to take away 3rd position, Mark Poole in turns 3 and 4 gained significantly on Tommy Beck in car 60. They streak by the 83 of Joe Moose, going a lap down after his spin earlier tonight. And suddenly Mark Poole comes alive. On lap 44, Catone building up a big lead interval over Tommy Beck. And here comes Mark Poole to the outside. Beck swings up high to close the door on him. A battle of winning veterans at the front of this field. Poole, who began his Motordrome career in legacy cars. Beck, who began his Motordrome career in the modifieds. 2nd and 3rd behind defending champion Mark Catone. And look at Poole, a master of turn 3 here late in this race. Only 4 laps remaining. It appears to be Catone's race to win. 2nd place, anybody's guess. Could it be Beck, Poole, maybe Audi? As Poole is determined on the high side of the speedway each lap through 3 and 4. Poole not as strong in turns 1 and 2, and Beck holds about a car length advantage. Barry Audi in 4th. And the signal of 2 laps to go to leader Catone. White flag will be waving. 3-time Motordrome Speedway track champion. Mark Catone out in front of this field now as Poole was challenging Beck for second. Audi looks to his inside. Through turns 3 and 4, McKeesport, Pennsylvania veteran Mark Catone in car 31 takes his first win of 2010 over Tommy Beck, Mark Poole, Barry Audi, and Neil Brown. Well, Mark Catone, your championship season started out pretty much like 2010 has, running up front for about a week or two, then getting to victory lane. Tell us about the differences between this race car and the one that you started 2009 with.
They're a little different. The one we started out with, we won that car a couple years ago with the Hooters Pro Cup deal, and then we had an unfortunate accident with it. We had to send it out to Scott Baker, and he fixed us up on fixing the front end. And this is an older car we bought off of Stevie Pellis about 15 years ago, and then we made some updates to it, sent it back out to Baker, and made some updates. And got to thank the crew, Auto Express Transportation, K-Site Automotive Products, MC Quality Cars, Lloyd Graphics, Visnick's Lawns Creations, the crew, mom, dad, family, friends, the Laskys, everybody that helps us, everybody that supports us. Competition here is just super spectacular. I mean, these guys, you can put them up against anybody in the country. We got to thank the Lasky family. Got to thank all the fans. Appreciate them coming out tonight. And the car was really good. We made some adjustments, and the car came to life pretty good. We're real happy with it, and just got to thank everybody.
One last question for you. Known as one of the smart, conservative drivers in this field, we've now completed 3 features in 2010. This has been some clean racing. I don't think a race car has been scratched in all 100 laps so far.
Well, that's the key. We try to talk to everybody and try to have everybody be patient. And again, in order to finish first you got to finish, and that's the key. And you want to be there at the end. And if the car's not right, just take what you can get and then make your adjustments. It's better to take it home in one piece and take a chance and busting up a car. Everybody got too much time and money invested, and all the drivers here, I tell you what, we love racing with them. And again, got to thank everybody, thank the fans, really appreciate it.
There he is, ladies and gentlemen, defending champion, returns to victory lane, Mark Catone. John Scott to his outside, 15 laps for the Pro Auto Supply Service Chargers, and we're underway. Ed Shelton out to an early lead in car 20. Graduate of the 4 cylinders. Hayward 3 wide on the back straight. Tracy Keller on the inside. Ed McConnell in the middle. Ron Eifert up high. Eifert realizes that's a bad idea. He gets off the hammer to keep that car in one piece. Shelton will lead lap 1 in car 20. I think it was last year on opening day that the Shelton number 20 car was bouncing off the top of the outside retaining wall nearly on its roof. And now he's leading this event over Denny Keller in car 13. Keller was an early season feature winner in 2009. Jimmy Christoffel is third in the 04. Oh, we got multi-car contact entering turn number 1 here on lap 2. It's Denny Keller now leading Shelton, then Jimmy Christoffel, and then McConnell and Ettling side by side. Oh, we got contact again. Christoffel gathers the machine up with a masterful save. McConnell is way off the pace. Shelton was part of that contact. It's now Denny Keller, Christoffel, then Etling, Tracy Keller, and Shelton. Penguins win 6-3. Game is over. Denny Keller, the race leader, Jimmy Christoffel in second. He gets the car a little bit loose, and that results in some rear bumper contact from Tracy Keller as Christoffel slowed just a little with a sliding race machine. Oh, we're 3 wide again, and Etling down on the apron. Christoffel spinning, but gathers it up. Keller on the outside of all that action, and now Shelton goes around on the back straight. Hair-raising action in the Charger division. Shelton, see if he can get that car restarted to avoid a caution. And we got the yellow flag waving. Shelton finally gets it pulled away from the scene of his spin here on lap 6 of 15. Zane Farrell in 6th. Side by side, Keller and Etling for the lead. Denny Keller of Monongahela to the inside. And Kristen Etling hoping to put the Kellers right together on the speedway in second and third. And by a car length at the scoring line, Kristen Etling is the new leader on lap 7. Keller family battle for second, then Christoffel, McConnell, and Zane Farrell, who hasn't seen a lap all night until the green flag of this feature. Laps completed. Mentioned Zane Farrell coming directly from his high school prom. Matt Sever, the street stock rookie, he's there as well, but knew that the street stock feature was too early and he had to skip a night of racing. Battle for third, McConnell to the inside of Christoffel. Again, Christoffel gets the car sideways. He's having a tough night out there, but hanging in the top 5. Etling opening up a big lead here on lap 10. Maybe having our first repeat winner here tonight. McConnell and Christoffel side by side for 4th position. McConnell takes the spot away. Here comes king of the prom, Zane Farrell. They're going to be 3 wide on the front straight with Shimko's lap car. And here on lap 11, Farrell trying to gain position under Christoffel. Move into 5th position. Tracy Keller switches to the high side to battle Denny Keller for 2nd position. 2 laps to go, the signal given to Kristen Etling. Etling with almost a half straightaway lead. Then the Keller battle for 2nd, then McConnell, Farrell, and Christoffel as the white flag is waving. Final time around. The former dirt track 4-cylinder racer, now turned pavement Charger ace, who earned a career first victory last week to open 2010, becomes the first repeat winner of the season. Kristen Etling takes the checkered flag over Denny Keller in 2nd, Tracy Keller in 3rd, and Zane Farrell from the back of the pack up into 4th position over Ed McConnell in 5th. Gift certificate for you. So you become the first repeat winner of 2010. You've won heat races. This is a perfect season so far. How's it feel?
Feels pretty good, actually. I hope it keeps on going like this.
Now let's tell the fans a little something about you, your age, where you go to school. I'll pretend I don't know these things, and you tell the fans all about you.
I'm 23, and I'm graduating May 15th at Penn State Fayette.
Will you have to miss the racing action graduation weekend?
No, I graduate on Saturday.
Oh, so you don't have to pull the Zane Farrell and get here after your prom.
Right.
Now, let me ask you this. You went to your high school prom, I would assume. Would you have left your prom date, bring you to the racetrack on prom night to compete?
Kind of funny you mentioned that. On my prom day, I had my dress on, and I got pictures taken by my car.
A true racer, and now a chance to thank all the sponsors and crew.
Thank you to my sponsors. Thank you for my dad. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be racing. My grandparents. Thanks for all my fans that come and watch me. Thanks for everyone's support.
A dominating performance for the second week in a row. Ladies and gentlemen, Kristen Ettling. 19, making a first start tonight, Crystal Aller. And 33, Kyle Komarinsky in his first start. Green flag is out. 15 laps of racing for the Coca-Cola Super Compacts. 3 wide racing all over the front straight on the way into turn 1. 14 of Keffer is the early race leader. The 3 of Settle is trying to take that spot away on the outside. Then it's Tringes Jr. and the 04 of Dukovic. New race leader is the 3 of Steve Settle. 14 of Keffer is second by inches over Tringes. Look at this pack of cars about to fight for second. They're about a 1/9 of a mile behind the race leader, but there's all kind of action happening there on the back straight. Tringes in 47, Zerfoss, the veteran, in 23. Schwartz, last week's winner, started really deep in this field. He's up to 4th. Then Koffler, the 3rd, and pole starter Keffer. Oh, we got contact. The 96 of Livingston plows the side of Keffer. That allows the 04 of Dukovic to take a spot away. Now Schwartz, last week's winner, is about to challenge for second very early in this race. Side by side for 4th, it's the 23 of Zerfoss and the 48 of Koffler, the 3rd. Livingston's going to make that a 3-car battle in the 96. Steve Settle is walking away from this field in car 3. Here comes Schwartz now, passing Tringes for second. Unbelievable improvement during one offseason, the Bill Schwartz 31 car. Six of 15 laps completed. Steve Settle out in front. He won a feature and a half last year. What I mean by that is he won the exhibition race during our monster truck night. So he won an actual NASCAR feature event and the exhibition. Now let's see if Schwartz in 31 can run away from the field and close in on Settle. Tringes and Koffler were battling briefly for 3rd. Look at this battle for 3rd. Koffler in 48, the Hillbilly Zerfoss in 23, Tringes in 47. We got 6 laps to go, and although Schwartz may be gaining just a bit on Settle, he will not have enough time, unless there's a caution flag, to make it 2 wins in a row. Steve Settle now in lap traffic. The June Mihalik 38 is on his inside. An insurmountable lead at this point, even though Schwartz may be gaining just a bit. Working lap number 12 and soon to be 13 as the 2 lap to go signal is given to Steve Settle. Schwartz remains second. Koffler, the third, is third, but now Zerfoss moves to the inside. Eugene Zerfoss, the former Jennerstown champion from Acosta, Pennsylvania, takes over third spot, leaving Livingston, Koffler, and Dutkovich to battle. So we're working the final lap. The driver who stood in victory lane last season in the Charger division now dusts off a 4-cylinder Coca-Cola Super Compact and brings the number 3 car out of turn 4 to take the checkered flag. Steve Settle gets the win. Coming home in second, it's Eugene Zerfoss. Third, it's Paul Koffler the third. Fourth, the 04 of Andrew Dutkovich, and fifth, the 96 of Livingston. First of all, anything wrong with the machine? We got some smoke, some steam, some smell.
Brakes are just a little warm. Use a lot of brake.
Now that's interesting. You use a lot of brake because you blew away this field, and we used to believe sometimes the drivers in this division could go wide open around the racetrack. So you're saying this thing had a little more because you were burning up the brakes?
Well, we didn't know what to put in for the setup. It's really a dirt car, so it wasn't handling real perfect, so I had to use a lot of brake.
Now, you've been racing on dirt over at Farmington for a while. Is this the car that you've used there for a long time?
No. I've run this car like up at Cumberland and stuff.
And now, since you're out in the Charger division last week, now you're in the Super Compacts. What's the plan for the rest of 2010?
Probably back in the Charger division next year. That's whatever I feel like running.
He's got a stable of race cars, and now he's got a trophy. Ladies and gentlemen, Steve Settle in victory lane for the Coca-Cola Super Compacts.